Murder-accused Donna Vasily mounting a defense in the Supreme Court today. We have those details coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
It was back to the Camp Road community for crime bosses last evening.
And Social Services does it again. It's Visa prepaid cards expanding across the island. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
The high-profile trial of the woman accused of killing her husband is winding down. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. The defense had an opportunity to present their case this afternoon in the trial of murder-accused Donna Vasily. Jiminy Swain tells us the Australian native was given the option to remain silent or make a statement under oath from the witness box. Following that, attorney Muriel Ducille opened the case and even called 2 witnesses. In a matter of days, the jury will make a final decision.
Murder-accused Donna Vasily opting from the prisoner's dock to remain silent Tuesday afternoon. Her attorney Muriel Ducille relayed to the court that the defense would be relying on Vasily's record of interview or the statement she gave police. She's accused of killing her husband, famed podiatrist Philip Vasily, back in March at their old Fort Bay home. Ducille, in his opening remarks, outlined to jurors that the prosecution brought Vasily to court and the burden to prove her guilt rests with them. As for the prosecution's case, he said it was based on circumstantial evidence. However, he told jurors that they should have no sympathy or prejudice for his client. But he reminded them again that Vasily was wrapped in a mantle of innocence until the prosecution proved otherwise, and according to Ducille, they had not yet done that. In fact, he said the prosecution had not yet started its case and had only thrown out a jigsaw puzzle. While he pointed out that a life had been lost, he told jurors to concern themselves with whether Donna Vasily was responsible. In the record of interview, the attorney said his client told police that she did not commit the crime and was innocent. Ducille is of the view that the prosecution's case has imploded. His client, he said, was questioned by police on March 25th, 2015, and again 3 days later. Throughout, he said his client had denied any involvement in her husband's death. As for the crime scene, he said the DNA shows the bloody palm print to belong to Philip Vasily. The knife exhibited in court, he said, had no DNA for his client. Ducille reiterated several times that at no time did his client tell police that she killed her husband. In fact, he said it's not been proven that the Vasilys were together in a building at any place where the stabbing took place. Further, he said the prosecution brought DNA evidence, but it meant nothing. The surveillance video, according to Ducille, showed 2 men exiting the home, but no woman. He said if the record of interview, which both the defense and prosecution have relied on, were extracted, there is no other evidence. The defense also called 2 witnesses, meteorologist Jeffrey Simmons and dermatologist Dr. Rochelle Knowles. Dr. Knowles told the court that she had performed laser treatment on Vasily's hands to remove brown spots on the back of them. Within 2 to 10 days of the procedure, she said the hands would scab and appear pink and raw. She said horizontal and vertical lines would be visible. Under cross-examination, she accepted that she could not say what Vasily would have done at her home on March 23, 2015, nor did she have any defensive marks, but instead the marks were left from the laser treatment. Now, both the prosecution and defense are expected to present closing arguments tomorrow morning at 10:30. On Thursday, Justice Stephen Isaacs is expected to sum up the case for jurors. Jiminy Swain, ZNS Network News.
A week after the National Security Minister, the police chief, urban renewal officers, and others conducted a walkabout in the Camp Road community, they partnered with the Northeastern Pastors Alliance last night to hold a town meeting where they listened to the concerns of area residents. And as Altavi's Munnings tells us tonight, the National Security Minister described the meeting as extraordinary.
It seems like Camp Road people have been left on the back burner for years.
There was a lot of emotion.
Why can't we not have a mini hospital in Camp Road?
Frustration.
Respect is earned, not given. And if I could respect you as an officer of the law,
then you can respect me as a citizen of the Bahamas.
And concern expressed at the town hall meeting Monday night at Camp Road Ministries Church that many residents felt deserved immediate attention.
The people are they sitting on the blocks, they smoking their dope, they playing their loud music. We have a lot of senior citizens in our community.
My name should never be published as a new body. Because then what you put me in my family life in jeopardy. So why should I try to help the police when the police is not my friend? They smoke, there's no respect, they curse, they gamble, they sell their drugs, and the area is getting congested. You have to stop and let them move, and they take no time to move the cars so that they can pass. It's been horrible.
But what astounded everyone in attendance was the story of a mother of 10 children who could only send one of them to school because she's a high school senior and wants her daughter to obtain a high school diploma. The mother has endured an abusive marriage and just wants to help sustain her family.
I am grateful for being alive today, so guess what? If I have to go down the road to go do a day's job or whatever like that, I have to do and leave them home. Then I can do that.
Many of these residents spent all of their lives living on Camp Road and want to diminish the tarnished image that it has generated from crime, unemployment, poverty, and troubled youth.
I see a lot of kids in the street running around who can be great athletes in this neighborhood. But we need somebody like myself and others to go into the school. Could we not have a person, a liaison person, who the community speak to that person is insulated from the affair. So when they speak to the police, they are not emotionally charged.
Now, I want to offer a challenge to parents in this area who understand the boys, who have little boys who you feel that they're slipping away.
All National Security Minister, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, wanted to do was listen. He was very pleased, though, with the meeting by describing it as successful and extraordinary.
Local government is something that we really need in New Providence because people can then take more ownership of their local problems. But in the meantime, I think that these are among the recommendations that I'm likely to make to the government.
The people got to be committed to changing the community.
Next on the ministry's program for the Camp Road area is a job fair scheduled for Monday, October 5th. Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Commissioner of Police Allison Greenslade also listened to the myriad of complaints Camp Road residents levied against officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. While he boasted about the majority of officers who go above the call of duty, the commissioner said he also disciplines those officers who don't.
A police officer with leg shackles on and handcuffs with this document will spend his first night in a prison cell. We had a young policeman who did the most egregious thing. He's a criminal of the first order. And I sent for him. And I told him the best thing I could do for him was to pack his little hip up, put him on a mailboat, and send him back to the family island that he came from. I said, because if you stay in now, so you can make jail, or somebody can kill you. And while you're at it, take our uniform off now.
Commissioner Greenslade appealed to the Camp Road community to help police solve crime because he acknowledged that many officers sacrifice their time to maintain law and order.
Please tell me why you can't take a picture of a police officer on a patrol car in a place where he or she shouldn't be. Why can't you take a picture and broadcast that? I sent a broadcast out to all of my senior command. I asked them to leave their families and to do something for me. And that is the only reason why last night nobody was murdered in some of our communities here in New Providence.
The police force once again issuing a stern warning to social media users who post unlawful pictures and video online. Their message: you will be arrested if you violate the law. Authorities are commenting on a number of pictures that surfaced on social media yesterday, allegedly from members of a gang. Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police responsible for crime, Stephen Seymour.
I promise you, we will find those persons who posted those pictures. We will find them, take them into custody, and place them before the courts. We will not tolerate any foolishness. as relates to things that they're doing on Facebook.
Do you get a lot of complaints from residents about these pictures that go on social media?
We're getting complaints and we're addressing them as we get them. And we're going to make sure take those persons into custody. We will not tolerate people putting things like that on Facebook. We don't play.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Bernard Nottage, also has recognized this disturbing trend and has confirmed to our news team that he will address it at the cabinet level very soon.
I'm going to have discussions with the providers of electronic internet services, because we think that those things should not be allowed on the internet in the Bahamas. And so I intend to have discussions with BDC and with Cable Bahamas to that effect.
Prime Minister of the Right Honorable Perry Christie said he was encouraged by yesterday's talks with Baha Mar CEO and developer Sarkis Ismailian, describing the meeting as an excellent one. However, the investor continues to express some concern. While he says that he and the Prime Minister share the same view that a successful opening will be a tremendous benefit to the Bahamas, he says time is of the essence and a plan to resolve the issue and enable Baha Mar to move forward needs to happen now. The Prime Minister recently met with officials of China Construction America and China Exim Bank in New York City to get the $3.5 billion project back on track to open this year. It's all about Literacy Week at Claridge Primary School.
And in sports, we're talking bodybuilding. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell & Leaded, designed for extra miles.